Hello, this video is to help you go through the steps of the gel electrophoresis technique. We are going to begin with the first step, which is to tape the gel bed. This is what we call a gel bed. That's going to hold our gel once we move to that step. But first thing we need to do, if you notice, the gel bed has two sides that are lower and two sides that are taller. We have to close these lower sides to equalize them in height with the taller ones, okay? To do that, we're gonna use some tape, some masking tape. So I recommend 3 layers of tape, okay? First one is going to go all the way up. Second one is going to go a little lower than that, okay? Going in a pattern like this. And the third one is going to go even a little lower than that. We want to go all the way down, and we want to press on this tape to make sure it's very secure, and when we pour our liquid, it's not going to leak, okay? Make sure to do that on both sides, okay? Once this is done, we're going to get a gel comb, okay? This is what we call the comb, and we're gonna place it in the middle ridges, okay? There's 2 little ridges in here. We're gonna place them in the middle. Make sure that this is well centralized and not towards one side, because if it is that side, the well will be open, okay? So we have to put this centralized right at the middle. Once this is done and your chamber, your bed is covered and it looks something like this, then we can move to the next step. You are going to collect 50 ml from the gel solution, okay, from the agarose solution. Your instructor should have that prepared for you. If not, then you need to have you're gonna have to use a 0.8% agarose and TBE, okay, and cook it. So make sure to follow these steps on the lab manual. But if your instructor has it ready for you, this should be, you should collect 50 ml and place a thermometer in it. You are going to be following the temperature of your gel solution until it is in somewhere between 50 and 55 degrees Celsius, okay? So place your thermometer on the solution and wait until the temperature reaches the desired level. You can't have this above 55 because it's going to be too hot and it can melt the tape. You don't want to have this lower than 50 because at that point it already starts solidifying a little bit and you might have blobs forming on your gel, okay? Once you have it in the right temperature, then you are going to pour the gel, okay, the liquid. Let's assume that this bed here is taped on both sides. We want to go on and pour the liquid until a level a little bit higher than half of the height of this tooth, okay? Once you get to that point, then that should be enough gel liquid, okay, gel solution. We don't want to go too high because we don't want to meet the area where there's no more tooth, and we don't want to go too low because we don't want the little hose, the little wells that this is going to leave on the gel to be too shallow, okay? Once we pour the gel, give it about 5 to 10 minutes and should be enough to solidify, okay? Once we have our gel solidified, we are going to remove the tape from the surroundings, okay? We are going to pull the comb. Just be very gentle when you're pulling the comb. Don't just pluck it out. Make sure you are wiggling that until you feel like it's loose, and then you can take it off, okay? And then you have your gel prepared, okay? I know this is going to sound very silly, but it has happened. Make sure you don't flip this, okay? It will fall. This will just plop right off the bed, okay? Once your gel is prepared, you're going to have a gel chamber, okay? This is your gel chamber. and you are going to insert the gel bed inside of the chamber. This is the natural way in which we would do. We would just try to put it like this. Fingers are on the way. That's a little bit trouble, okay? So try to hold it on the two empty sides and lower this delicately inside of the bed, okay? Once this is done, we're gonna get some TBE buffer and we're gonna pour this to flood the gel. Yes, you did hear me right. We are flooding the gel, okay? So we're gonna pour a little bit on one side. There's two empty sides in here. Don't pour it directly on the gel. That could crack the gel. Pour it on one side until the moment when it starts over flooding over the gel. Move to the other side and do the same thing. And keep going until you have filled the chamber with enough liquid to cover these two rectangles. These rectangles are the rectangles that are holding the bed in place, okay? These have to be, the water has to go a little bit above that, okay? That should be enough volume. Once you get to that point, then here comes the challenging part, okay? We are going to load our gel. We're going to load our gel with these samples. You should have them listed on your manual, okay? The first one, I believe, is bromophenol blue. So we're gonna get a little bit of bromophenol blue. You are going to use one of these precision pipettes, okay, automatic pipettes. Make sure that you set up your pipette to 10 microliters, okay? You should be reading in there 10.0, okay? That is the correct volume. We're gonna get 10 microliters of this solution, and we have to go inside of one of the little wells and deliver that, okay? If you're not familiar with this equipment, please make sure to practice a little bit, okay? If you hold it on your hand, the hook here should rest on your finger, and your thumb should be free to manipulate the pipette. When you start pressing on the ambula here, you should find a first resistant mechanism, okay? Resistance. There's gonna be a little bit of resistance, you stop there. When you do this first mechanism, you go inside of the container and slowly let it go to collect the sample, okay? You will notice that this pipette has already a tip, okay? And this tip has markings, okay? This first marking in here is your indication of 10 microliters. So your sample should only go until this line. If it's going a little bit above, it means you probably went all the way down to collect the sample, okay? The going all the way down should be your second stopping mechanism. If you press, feel the first resistance, then you can press a little bit more, and that's your second resistance. You should be collecting the sample using the first resistance, okay? So again, press, go on the tube, collect slowly, double check, make sure you do have 10 microliters, and then you dispense. When you are dispensing, you can go all the way down, okay? So you're gonna get right inside of the wells, of the little holes that were left on the gel, not too deep, not too shallow, okay? You just need to make sure that you are on the beginning of the well, but inside of the well, not too deep. And then you just press all the way down, hold, remove, and then you let it go. Because if you press and let it go, it's gonna suck back in, okay? So the sample is gonna go right back inside of the tip, okay? Once you have loaded all your samples, then we are going to close this chamber, okay? This is your lead. So the way that you're gonna use the lead, there's these two pins in here. We're gonna set the lead on top of the chamber, and we're gonna line it, and we're gonna slide it, okay? Once this is done, you are going to connect your cables to the power supply, okay? These are alligator hooks, okay? So you press them, they're a little alligator, and they go in like this, okay? They will fit right in, okay? Once this is done, once everything has been connected, you can plug it on the electricity, you can turn it on, and then you're gonna move it to 50 volts, okay? Once this is done, look at the little wires. There's one on this side, me just move it here. One little wire here, and there should be one on the other side as well. Check if they're bubbling. Check if tiny little bubbles are coming out of them, okay? If it is, you're good. Mark 25 minutes and then see the results.